Hi friends, we are going to start reading chapter 7 called What Will Work? Now, as you're reading along with me, I want you to be thinking about this question. Think about what do you think will be the best way, what's going to work to get rid of Tiny's bacteria. Okay, so let's get started. We had to let this bacteria grow in a warm place, just like the yogurt. So we used the same cooler as our incubator. Mom just refilled the glass jars with new hot water. I snuggled the 4 Ziploc bags with the Petri dishes down between the jars and made sure they were nice and toasty warm. Mom threw all of our used supplies into the garbage, and we both washed our hands really well. It will take a while for the bacteria to grow, right? Well, normally, yes, it usually takes 1 or 2 days to be able to see bacteria on a petri dish, but magical things always seem to grow more quickly than normal things. I think we'll have an answer in a few hours. Oh, that's awesome! While we wait, I need to figure out what I'm going to use against the bacteria in the second experiment. I tapped my thinking goggles. Nothing. I started walking around the kitchen. When I got near the kitchen counter, I tapped my hand along it. I reached the kitchen sink and spotted the soap. Oh, soap! I explained. Good, Mom replied. Okay, 1 idea down, a few more to go. I shifted my thinking goggles again. For some reason, I felt like walking backward, so I did. I ended up at the edge of the kitchen counter right by a container of disinfecting wipes my mom used to clean the counters. Wipes! I shouted triumphantly. Another great idea. What else? I took 1 more lap around the kitchen. I started rubbing my hands together. Wait a minute. Hey, doesn't Sophie's mom use some kind of hand sanitizer made from plants to get rid of the bacteria on her hands before we eat? Oh, are there plants that might stop the bacteria? Yes, there are. Excellent work. The soap and wipes are pretty straightforward, but you'll probably want to do some reading to figure out which plants to use. I have just the book for you. Mom went to her office and came back with a big plant book. Before we had antibiotics, like you took for your ear infection, or antibacterial cream, like we used on your cuts and scrapes, people used plants to treat infected cuts. You can read about lots of them in here. Let me know what you decide to try. After I'd read for a while, I grabbed my science journal. There were so many plants to choose from. I decided to pick only the plants I knew I could find at our house. Once I had a list of 4 plant options, I leapt to my feet. I have a plan, I announced. No one was in the kitchen to hear me, but I was still excited. I flipped to a new page in my science journal. Question: what will get rid of Tiny's bacteria? But I couldn't concentrate. I gathered up everything and headed outside. I needed to talk it through with Sassafras. Tiny was awake this time, but he sure seemed like he felt terrible. His eyes were a little puffy, and he barely held his head up off the ground. Sassafras was curled up by Tiny's chin, but he looked up when I walked over. I have a plan, I reassured them. After snuggling them both, I settled down, cross-legged on the ground by Tiny's head. I opened my science journal and picked up where I left off. Okay, let's see here. What's my hypothesis? I guess soap or disinfecting wipes could get rid of the bacteria, but Tiny's from the forest, so using a plant sort of makes sense to me. Of all the plants on my list, onion seems the most powerful. They always make my nose wrinkle and my eyes water, so I think they'll be the best at stopping this bacteria. Hypothesis: I think onion will get rid of Tiny's bacteria. Materials, I sang. Materials: petri dish, agar mixture, cotton swab, Ziploc bags, Tiny's bacteria, garlic, onion, oregano, thyme, soap, disinfecting wipes, marker, tape, spoons. Mom came out to the backyard. How's it going? I proudly handed her my science journal and hopped up. I'm going to check on the petri dishes. I dashed into the house and peeked in the cooler. Nothing yet, I announced when I came back out. Your plan looks good. Mom handed me my science journal. Why don't you hang out here with Tiny and Sassafras? I'll call you when it's time to check the bacteria again. Thanks, Mom, I said and snuggled up next to my two favorite animals. Aw, they're becoming pals, aren't they? Poor Tiny. Oh no, we're gonna have to stop. Next time we'll read Stumped. All right, so we just finished reading, so you have to be thinking about what you think will work best to get rid of Tiny's bacteria. Let me know what you think.